20%, no droids, bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no, none of that. We're here for Star Wars only, and the love of Star Wars. I'm gonna start this out with a rant, because I think it needs it, and to basically make sure that this place is a place where we can like what we like and dislike what we dislike, and not have black pills or anybody else jumping in and bothering us. Okay. I had the misfortune of having somebody who's got a significant channel, or he did. I don't know if this person is still even uploading, dedicated to J.J. Abrams and how much he hates him. Let me put it to you bluntly. First off, J.J. Abrams is a piece of shit. He's a fake and a phony, and everybody knows it. Especially now, it looks like everybody in Hollywood. Okay, so you don't realize, my friend, that you're talking with someone who agrees with you on most things. But I'm also not so close-minded, and I'm going to say stupid, to believe that no matter what Lucasfilm puts out, it's always going to be bad. Okay. Despite what black pills say, and we all know who they are, and this person too, The Mandalorian's a great show. Sorry to burst your bubble. Sorry to break your concentration. And I think part of the reason why these people don't like it and haven't seen it is they're scared they're going to like it. Okay? Look, let me tell you something. Hate comes from not understanding things. Hate comes from fear. And a lot of this hate for Mando, for the Book of Boba Fett, I mean, you can look at it and go, that show had some good points and some bad points. It was mediocre, but to completely dismiss it is, what did Obi-Wan say to Anakin? Only Sith deal in absolutes. Okay, so when you don't watch a show like The Mandalorian, like the Book of Boba Fett, or like Kenobi, and oh, by the way, now these black pills hate Leia because she was the one that got to go on the adventure with Obi-Wan. Oh my God, a girl took over for Luke. Without, the nuanced thought that let's go back to the original trilogy, and oh, you mean maybe you meant old Ben Kenobi, who lives out beyond the Dune Sea. Luke didn't really have anything to do with Ben Kenobi, okay, till he basically was rescued by Ben Kenobi, okay? So I'm like, you know what? If you want to be unreasonable, if you want to behave immaturely, and a lot of these people are extremely immature in the way they talk, the way they act, they can't even, I mean, look, coming on my channel and attacking basically a theory about LUTHEN RAEL, when you don't go to Star Wars Theory and do that, you don't go to Eckhart's Ladder, you don't go to anywhere, you came to my channel, so fuck you, okay? Why? Because you think you can abuse me, because you're the big man. Well, fuck you, pussy, okay? I mean, I'm sorry. This is a good character, and this adds a lot of depth to the stuff surrounding Luke, Han, and Leia, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay? I'm sorry that bothers you, but this is an interesting character. And guess what, Sparky? You don't have to hate everything Disney, Star Wars puts out, okay? There's no reason to like the sequel trilogy. It's shit. It's garbage. And basically, it gave people like this impetus to attack anybody who actually says, oh, that's pretty good. And then, my favorite, turn you into an enemy of the state. Because you dared to go against the fucking fandom menace narrative. You know, Obi-Wan was a good show. The scene between him and Vader at the end was tragic and beautiful. Okay, now you could see where it was a TV show and not a movie. Okay, and it should have been a movie, in my opinion. And there's a fan cut of it that actually is wonderful. Okay, but to sit there and dismiss the whole thing is ignorant. It's shallow, stupid, silly, hateful, angry bullshit. Okay, and I'm sorry. Here's the reality of the situation we're living in right now. We got Putin moving nukes towards Ukraine. Now, that's the second time that he's threatened to do this, but, you know, I don't know if it's true or not, but there you go. We've got a president, not yet. Hey, Ghost Rider. Let me just finish my rant, because if you go into the comments of my my upload, you'll see somebody came in there. Somebody whose work I used to like, by the way. But, you know, when all your life is wrapped up in hating a company, don't you have anything to do? Go for a walk. Play a stick with your dog. I know, go rent out a horse and go riding. Work out. Go to church and pray. Or the synagogue, or to the mosque, or the half moon circle, and pray to, I don't know, whatever god or goddess you believe in, okay? But don't come on my fucking channel and start spewing shit, because it's all right, Ghost Rider, I didn't do anything wrong. Here's the deal for the fandom menace and this person who hates J.J. Abrams and everybody else. You can hate the sequel trilogy. You can hate the High Republic and mock it. You can troll Pablo Hidalgo and Claudia Gray and Justina Ireland and the rest, okay? And still like the Favloniverse, okay? Because that is the direction it's going into. No, by the way, unreasonable jagoffs, things are changing, okay? When you watch D23 footage and Kathy Kennedy is reduced to Chinese vase, okay, so here's the ACOLYTE rumors. First off, yesterday, or was it this morning? No, it was yesterday. Kennedy's, or Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant posted on IMDb Pro that an electrical advisor, worker, whatever dude was added. And then we get Star Wars Direct with a rumor that it's supposed to start filming in October. Okay, sure. They don't have a director still. Now, I could wake up in the morning, or we could see a director's been named. But as far as an official word on this from Disney, it still isn't coming from Disney. These are the things that drive me nuts. These are the things that the shills run with because they're so stupid, and the black pills run with because they're so stupid. Who is putting this out there? Weinstein's former personal assistant. That's it. That's all. There's never been an official word on the ACOLYTE from Disney or Lucasfilm. And in fact, the last actor that they were talking to, not signed on, neither big company that's actually shelling out the money for these things commented, and they declined to comment. Okay, so what do we have here? Is Weinstein's former personal assistant trying to bully Bob Chapek and Kareem Daniel into making this? It looks like she is. Is she hiding behind people of color to get her shitty thing made? If you don't make this, you're a racist, which will be the fallback, because I don't think they're going to do it. And let me remind you, there's nothing in the book, especially after what they did with the prequel or sequel, I can't remember what it was, for the live action Beauty and the Beast, what it was going to be, Gaston's little buddy, LeFou, gay coming out moment. That's what it was. And they canceled it the day it was going to start filming. Okay, so the idea that these guys don't cancel things is ridiculous. You couldn't get more woke than that, and it was gone. Okay, so is the ACOLYTE being built? I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Okay, but Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni are working on their stuff. Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Mando 3, The Bad Batch 2, and Tales of the Jedi shorts. That's it. Okay, that's what they're doing. This is not part of their thing. And I actually put out to the Puck editor, Matt Belloni, or Bellany Belloni. He'll probably have to come in and correct me on how to pronounce his name. Is the ACOLYTE even going forward? Because the only person out there who's talking about it and putting news out there is Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, who, by the way, the show she started, that she championed and began and created for Netflix, Russian Doll, had its premiere like a few months ago, or maybe like a month ago, maybe two, I can't remember. They did not talk to her at all. When they were doing the pre publicity, they talked to Natasha Leone, who's in it, and the other person who's a showrunner, but not. So she moved out of that. Which did they move her away from that? Her name is still attached, but it's really weird not to see Leslie Forehead not talking about the show that she created. It's her baby, and she's not there anymore. As far as publicity, so that was weird. All right, that's something to watch. So what we have here, I think, is somebody putting shit out there through the rumor mill, and if it only shows up on Deadline and even Variety, who is owned by the same company, Penske, doesn't run with it, if Variety doesn't run with it, it's her. That's just Mike, and you're right. I think that's the problem. And I don't know how Favreau and Filoni are going to keep themselves distant from it. I mean, I can't imagine Dave Filoni going, I want to be the showrunner for this. Or Jon Favreau saying, I want to be the executive producer. No, by the way, where's Kennedy in all this? Is she hiding behind Leslie Headland, the lesbian? Okay. While the dyke hides behind the two women of color and the Korean dude? This is very big possibility here. Okay. What else? So we gotta watch that. Well, if they actually did it, it wouldn't be attached to the High Republic. They would not. I mean, look, I hate to tell everybody, they did put Phase 2. They put a Phase 2 trailer out on Star Wars on the channel. I'm shocked anybody cares at this point. Okay. I know, and you know, and Valiant Renegade and Cameron and everybody at Midnight's Edge has basically said this publishing initiative, which started out as Project Luminous, is a fail and a travesty and a dumpster fire. Now, is it going to stay there as long as Kennedy's in charge? I don't know. But my question is, why in the hell is Chapek putting all this money towards it? I mean, look, Disney is a company right now. I'm still looking at their debt going. Their Marvel is now starting to stink bad. I mean, She-Hulk was just a disaster. I think of biblical proportions. They basically maybe removing was it Strange Things or Strange New Worlds or whatever they're calling it, that animated show coming out that might not even be coming out now. It wasn't on the list that Variety put out there for movies coming out in the fall before Christmas. This Christmas season, by the way, for movies is going to be a disaster. My advice to the movie companies, ask if you can put Raiders of the Lost Ark out there for Christmas, or the original Superman and Superman 2. Do like both of them at the same time. Well, just Mike, that's the thing. When you've got Blade being such a disaster behind the scenes right now, that according to Cameron Pasha, it now going to the multiplexes, that's a big deal. That says Kevin Feige has more confidence in it being a movie, first of all, and it also says he doesn't know what he's doing. This could be the signal of his downfall too. Okay. Look, right now there's a big yawning chasm. The franchises, all the big franchises we grew up with that we know, are in the pits. Well, Ghost Rider, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, but look, from what Cameron has said, and Tom has said, and my friend Lee, who's directing and producing a movie right now on Nevis, has said, it's getting out there not to be woke. In fact, I'm going to say this. Matt Bellany, without saying it, has said the woke has got to stop. Okay, when he took that question and answer thing about Kennedy, that the black pills ignore completely, saying she has to go, that's Hollywood saying that. That guy would not be out there in public. You can, hey, go find The Town on Spotify and listen to everything he said. You can't possibly begin to know what that means if you're not familiar with how things are done in Hollywood. The club is really starting to crash and burn. Oprah's lost her Apple TV contract. Trevor Noah is leaving because he basically killed that. What was the show he was on? It was the Jon Stewart thing. He's gone now. And here's the deal. One of Bellany's writers put out there, The Daily Show. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. The Daily Show. What I find interesting is watching all this, and Puck actually had talked about the late night. Oh yeah, SNL's dying too. Puck actually had the late night a discussion about it and how these shows are starting to die. And to me, it's really interesting because this is out there. It's behind a paywall. You got to buy a subscription to read it. But the fact of the matter is, it's true. When you've got Jimmy Kimmel and John Colbert and that the other idiot who took over from the Jay Leno, taking themselves too seriously, not being funny. Look, I'll tell you something. People that are up that late at 11:35 aren't up that late because they want to be. Maybe they've got insomnia. Maybe they just got done off of work and want to sit down and laugh a little bit. Okay, there's a lot of things out there that are factors into why people are going to want or may want to watch it. It has come to my attention the reason why people aren't watching it, they're watching Greg Gutfeld. Because Greg Gutfeld is funny. And that's the reason why they're failing. They take themselves too seriously. If you watch any of Carson's old stuff, freaking hysterical. He wasn't a comedian. But while he was one of the biggest assholes in the universe, true story, he was an alcoholic and he was a bastard. But he was funny. All right. Well, Ghost Rider, if it's any consolation, I think the tide is definitely turning. And there's too many indications now from what I gathered, from what my people have said, Cameron and others, that I think the woke is dead. And you're going to see a lot of people that are woke without jobs. And I think, and to be honest, I think Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant is one of them already. I do. Now, let's go to Andor. The first 3 episodes were boring as fuck. The only thing that saved episode 3 from being a snooze fest and being Ambien is Stellan Skarsgård. When he gives Cassian Andor the Kyber crystal, that says something about Skarsgård, right? And it makes the show a lot more interesting. Mon Mothma makes the show a lot more interesting. Even her dipshit husband with his douchebag, with his douche knot on the back of his head, makes it more interesting. Okay, so I don't know who he is. I'm going to speculate. I think Luthen was, and probably a Jedi, or someone who worked closely in the temple. The reason why is because of all the shit in his store. By the way, did you notice the Sankara stones from Indiana Jones are in the store in carbonite? Indiana Jones's whip is there too. Okay. That interesting to me as much as that idiot Tony Gilroy said he didn't want his writers to be so nostalgic about doing Star Wars and to keep Star Wars out of Star Wars. He did the same thing with Andor in episode 4 that Raiders of the Lost Ark did with Star Wars. Watching Raiders of the Lost Ark and you look at the pillars, and I think it's in the in the Well of Souls. You see R2-D2 and C-3PO and hieroglyphics. There you go. And yeah, we need, if you guys hit the like button and share so people know I'm on. But anyway, it's very interesting to me watching this, all this going on with Andor, just the stuff in the shop. The Sith Stalker armor, the Utapawan Monks Club, the World Between Worlds tablets, It's all just, I mean, that's the thing is that it makes you look at LUTHEN and go, who the hell are you? Now, I've explained why this is kind of special and this is kind of a unique place. The Emperor and Vader wanted to destroy all traces of the Jedi, kind of like right now with Project 1619. That's what it's called, right? Oprah Winfrey and all the Black Lives Matters, anti-American, Antifa pricks want to erase the founding fathers, Christianity, probably Judaism, and everything else. Oh, and the U.S. Constitution from America. All right, this is genocide. Okay, but let me explain something. There's RAEL selling all kinds of things that are connected to the Jedi, the world between worlds, tablets, the Sith, Stalker, Armor, Star Killer, if you guys. And then when you go in the back room, you see a Jedi holocron and a Sith holocron. So why, in a world where all of that stuff would either be in lockdown somewhere where only the Emperor and Vader could look at it, or destroyed completely, why is this shop running? Well, I'll give you a little story. And during the Beer Hall Putsch in 1920, was it 22? Hitler and all the guys marched into Munich, got arrested. Hermann Goering got wounded and fled to Sweden. Somehow, so I think it was Sweden or Switzerland. He was cared for by two Jewish ladies. Goering was fond of saying, "Oh, yep, I saw that. I knew that would be the end of it." But Goering was fond of saying, everybody has their favorite Jew. Now, you could be the biggest Nazi asswipe in the world and say, oh, we should destroy that, burn books, burn the books of Thomas Mann, Erich Maria Remarque, destroy the musical works of Mendelssohn and Mahler and all the rest of that, right? And all of that, okay, destroy it all. But still, you're going to have people who are yelling and screaming that still have all that stuff. When you discover that paintings that Van Gogh painted, who was prescribed by Hitler, hated him, disappear, and then you find them in the stolen collection of Hermann Goering. It's like, this is the thing. It is not that they're so prescribed. It's who are these artifacts and histories prescribed? Who can't look at it? You, me, and the rank and file. Okay. But Mon Mothma, being a senator from Chandrilla, living on the highest part of Coruscant, the uppermost level, can. Why? Because she's an elitist. Okay, she is an elitist. That's why. That's why. Okay. And this store caters to people like Mothma, her husband, Bail Organa, Maz Ameta, Sly Moore, all the rest of these people. Okay. So that's why he can do it. He's allowed to. Okay. But the rank and file, like let's say shipbuilders, Kuwait shipbuilders, Karelian shipbuilders, their families aren't allowed. All right. The Jedi, to those people, are within 20 years, no one talks about them. It's like they never existed. Now, that's a little fast, in my opinion. But still, okay? We grew up not knowing what a Jedi was. All right? Think about it. And there were other kids just like him who grew up not knowing what Jedi were. All right? But when you've got a bunch of rich people, and I'm going to tell you something, it's a line from something that I wrote in a fan fiction. One of Han's old boss tells Luke, the thing about rich people is that they're weird. They're bored. And they're so bored they get themselves into really weird stuff. Okay? And, or in esoteric stuff. Okay? There you go. This is why. And they're allowed because they're considered to be imperial loyalists. Okay. Coruscant is all Palpatine now. All right. This is why Luthen Rael can get away with it. He can hide in plain sight. He might not be a Jedi, but hell's bells, look at what he's got in his shop. All right. I guarantee you by the end of the show, episode, or by the end of the second season, Rael will be dead and his shop will be gone. And I wouldn't doubt that it's going to be Vader walks in there. There's going to be some point where someone has to figure it out. All right. You know, it's very interesting to me that we can't have a discussion about this. Go back to my rant. Go into yesterday's upload about who Luthen Rael is, and you'll scroll down, and one of the last comments was from a guy who has a channel I used to respect, who basically is trying to force everybody to hate everything that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Lucasfilm puts out because we're supposed to, according to him. This is bullshit. Okay? When you start doing that, when you start trying to bully people, you become Pablo Hidalgo. You become what you hate. You've looked for monsters too long, you become one. You've looked into the abyss, now the abyss is looking back at you. Okay? Quit it. Stop it. Okay? I didn't say I was giving Andor a thumbs up, but in the chat where I said Andor was the greatest thing I've ever seen. A 1 or a 2. Okay, a 2 would be, she's never said that. Okay, because I haven't. I said the first 3 episodes were a 2.5. The 4th episode was a 3. Okay, I cannot stand Diego Luna. I think he's the most boring, lifeless actor I've ever seen in my life. Okay, I can't stand, every time I see him, I just go, oh, fuck. And it's been that way since I saw him in Rogue One. Okay. I like Rogue One as a story. But the only characters that stayed with me are Krennic and Galen Erso. Okay. Not any of the rebels. Well, except Organa and Mon Mothma, General Antok Merrick, and Amaratus. That's it. Okay, everybody else, especially, you know, Andor and his, you know, K2SO was kind of funny. I mean, we'll keep him. That's about it. Okay, that's about it. That was the only thing that made me like that movie. It was a good story too. It was kind of like, watching it was kind of like watching an old 70s World War II movie like A Bridge Too Far, or even like Force 10 from Navarone, right? If you've ever seen it. But as far as saying that, or assuming, because I wanted to talk about Rael, that I was a bad person, and, you know, I've noticed that this guy didn't go on to Star Wars Theory and lambaste him. He didn't go on to Eckhart's Ladder. Has he ever gone to Star Wars Explained and yell at them? Don't yell at me. All right? I hate those 2 motherfuckers. Go yell at them. Okay? That's your target, not me. But I'm not going to sit there and shit on Lucasfilm when they actually do something right. I'm sure. What the heck? Okay, we're going. We're working. That was weird. I lost connection there for a second, guys. I'm sure that he believes that she has secrets on Bob Chapek who she didn't know. Thanks, Orange Grove. Well, nothing. I mean, look, I've noticed that I'm not getting the views I used to get, and I'm pretty sure that probably fandom menacers who are mad at me for calling them out, or shills, SGWs, have, dropped complaints on my, hey, Matt Piranha, about my channel to YouTube, okay? Probably, I don't have an issue with Eckhart's Ladder. But what I'm saying is that him and Star Wars Theory are allowed to talk about this stuff and analyze it, but I'm not, okay? If I say I like LUTHEN RAEL, I get this at, go and look and see what he said. All right, it's in my yesterday's upload in the comments. I'm like, why are you here bothering me? Hey GM, why? I'm a small channel. I'm not bothering you. What the fuck are you doing here? Okay. And this was a guy who had a channel that I appreciated. I hate J.J. Abrams. I know. Well, but we're not allowed to like even a part of a show anymore. Which makes them, again, dealing in absolutes. Right? There are too many people dealing in absolutes anymore. If you can't have a conversation about a TV show and say, well, I like this and that was good, I didn't like that part, that was boring, so I skipped over it. What's the point? What's the point of even having the internet? All right. People who deal in absolutes are destructive. All right. Phantom Menace deals in absolutes. Not allowed to like Kenobi, and it broke canon, but it didn't. Oh, and now we're all supposed to hate Leia. Not allowed to say nice things about the Book of Boba Fett. And according to many of them, we're all supposed to hate the Mandalorian too. I have to ask out loud, are they really Star Wars fans? No. We're not supposed to have a meh towards Andor. We must hate all of these. Okay. It's kind of like Justina Ireland when she writes these racist tomes and puts her activist bullshit into Star Wars. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Well, I don't like being bullied. I don't like people who deal in absolutes, especially when it comes to culture and film and everything. And I don't want that kind of person around me. Okay, look, Star Wars is going to get better, or it dies. Now there are people out there saying that it is dead because what they want in their little teeny tiny pointed heads didn't happen. Guess what? What I wanted in my little teeny tiny pointed head didn't happen either, okay? But because I have hope, I mean, I am a Star Wars fan after all, I believe things are getting better and the things are pointing to that general direction. No longer is Pablo Hidalgo attacking fans without reservation on Twitter. All right, he had to go into hiding. He's got a public account, but his actual account, hey Dengar, how you doing, is hidden. Okay, Matt Martin hasn't said a word in a long time. None of them have. The authors are keeping their mouth shut too. When they're denigrated, they ignore you or they block you. Why? Because they're worried. They were told if a fan says, I don't like your stuff to your face, let it go, ginger boy. Okay, let it go. All right? Or say, gee, I'm sorry, I'll do better. All right? These are the people, Matt Martin, Hidalgo, Story Group, Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, who's obsessed with Lando's package, Kevin Scott, Charles Soule. These are the people that need to go. And they're not working on anything that's successful. Now, apparently there's going to be like a High Republic short, animated short coming out. No one's going to watch it. I mean, my thing is, why is Disney spending money on this? There is. I mean, Mando season 3 looks like it's going to be great. Ahsoka, yeah. I don't think it'll be boring at all. But here's the thing that guy, Cross Element, you know who I'm talking about, doesn't understand is that when you look at what's on the docket for films, Lucasfilm has Indiana Jones 5. That's it. That's all. No Star Wars films at all. And that is the biggest tell out there. Okay? That is the biggest tell. And the Phantom Menace and this guy ignoring that and embracing the emperor empress with their new clothes as the goddess of all who can bully anybody she wants. Maybe the bitch even walks on water. I don't know. They ignore that. Look, these people don't want to be happy. They love, look, again, what did Nietzsche say? Be careful hunting monsters before lest you become one. If you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss will stare back at you. They have become what they hate. Okay? They have become what they hate. Which is why I said to this person, I would like to stick you and the Phantom Menace in a burlap sack with Pablo Hidalgo and the Story Group and be done with it. No, Dengar, they're doing that because someone else is on the way in. And they're going to probably revamp everything when that person comes in. Look, I fully expect an announcement of her retirement date coming soon. Because look, I had long talks about this with Mexican Iron Man, and he agrees with me. You have to give the new guy in this situation time, and it's going to be a guy, time to get in there, and the transition has to be smooth. Okay, so you're not going to abruptly fire her. I mean, unless you find out she molested 17 cats and a donkey, you're not going to abruptly fire her. Okay. She will be given an opportunity to retire with her giant golden parachute, go back to help Frank making his music documentaries and the other things that they're working on. Because everything in Kathy Kennedy's IMDb is stuff Kennedy Marshall is working on. Again, explain to me if Kathy Kennedy's so powerful and that they're making movies right now. Where's Rogue Squadron? They took it off the thing. It's not happening. Where's Taika Waititi's movie? They haven't announced that it's not happening, but it's not. Where's Ruin Johnson's trilogy? Never happening. Okay. This is a sign. Okay. This is a sign that things are changing. And you cannot abruptly just go, okay, fuck it, we're done. We're doing this. Things have to be done slowly. Okay. You're turning the Titanic away from the iceberg. Okay. And it's not you're up to the iceberg and you try to abruptly turn it. I mean, the ship needs 5 miles to stop. That's how long it takes a ship like that. And I think for an aircraft carrier the size of the Reagan, it needs 10 miles. Okay? This is not going to happen overnight. Now, let me tell you something. If all we're getting from Leslie Headland, no, it wasn't, Dengar. It was Cam because Patty Jenkins is a pain in the ass and Kennedy's not going to be there. Okay. They jettisoned all of it. I mean, look, may I remind Mr. Abrams that Kathy Kennedy, after the Indiana Jones rumors came out, which was conveniently forgotten by Doomcock, that he talked about it last summer, then it shows up in the Daily Mail, and then suddenly we get to have these rumors show up again, like they're new. After that happened in September of last year, a year ago, that we find out in January that around October, Kennedy lost her vanity project, The Children of Blood and Bone, and then everything else started to go away. Okay, we kind of knew Rogue Squadron was done then too. Okay, all of it. I mean, it was just like one thing after another. So the idea that nothing's changing and that we must all hate everything that Lucasfilm is doing with Star Wars is bullshit. Okay. Disney wants to make money. Star Wars is not making them money. The Galaxy's Edge is a joke. Okay. It is a fucking joke. So, my thing is, allow people to like what they like. All right. I don't like all of Andor. You guys all know that. But to come on my channel and to say something that stupid, and I mean, Cross Elemental backed me up, it was really fucking stupid, is beyond my comprehension. So don't come here anymore, all right? If you don't want to talk about the cool shit going on, because there is, why are you here, okay? You know, I'm not here. I mean, the only thing I want to do with my channel is make it so I can do like screenshots and other things and like use basically use stream elements, StreamYard, so I can actually put documents up that you guys can see that we can talk about, okay? So I can have people come on with me, all right? That's the only reason why I've got the fundraiser. That's it. I am not going to ask this is my thing. My husband, I don't want him to worry about it. So there you go. And the idea that we are, you know, supposed to hate everything, and it's so stupid. It really, really is. It's like, you know, art is subjective. All right? It is. And stuff that I like, you might not like. Like today, one of my favorite country singers, Loretta Lynn, passed away at the age of 90. She lived a very good long life. She made millions and millions of people happy. And, you know, she came out of nowhere. I mean, back when she was growing up, Kentucky in that area was poor as fuck. Okay. So I look at her and I think, you know, there's a role model for everybody right there. So God bless her soul. And the world's going to be poorer for her not being in it. But art is subjective, and a lot of people don't like country music, and that's fine. I like all kinds of music. You know, I like some more modern art. I've got a friend, she's a distant cousin of my husband's, who is a painter, who makes these beautiful, stunning paintings of just just like streets and mountains and all kinds of things. And I want one of her paintings. Now, a lot of people would say it's like, I don't like it. What is it? You know, fine. You don't like it, fine. It's in my house because I liked it and I wanted it. Okay. And you're right, Dengar. There are people out there that if it's not Legends, they don't like it, and they get really pissed off when they see elements of the EU being thrown into a movie or a TV show. All right, wait. I mean, just wait. Look, here's that. How's this for a hypothetical? Ahsoka does the world between worlds, and Luke helps her. Luke kills the Emperor, and the timeline is different. Suddenly, you've got a chance to see Tatooine Ghost in an animated form, which would be fucking awesome. You get to see the birth of the twins, maybe even the Thrawn trilogy. Okay? And I think we're going to get tastes of that in Ahsoka. But I honestly think we're going to get that in a movie, to be honest. And that's where, after Ahsoka does what she does with Luke, all right, and we get not Kyle Ron and Rey, but Jason and Jaina Solo, Anakin Solo, and hopefully some more other Solo kids running around. What will they do then? Probably explode into 10,000 Furies. They won't like that either. All right, if we get the twins, yeah, and they'll hate it. They'll be pissed off. Well, I don't think you had. Look, I think when they started reprinting with new covers, EU novels like Kenobi and Heir to the Empire, you know, Dengar, I know, and that was. I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon because my phone is dying. Now you know why I got a fundraiser for the studio, right? Because in that the fundraiser link is in the description. Okay. Doomcock talked about it, and I think there's a lot. I mean, when you see those tablets in RAEL's shop, his store, that's a hint. Okay, that's not just a connection to Ahsoka and Clone Wars and Rebels. It's a connection to also what could be happening in the future. Okay, you know, to let you go, there was a man on a channel that I follow called, I'm not going to say this right, but What is Truth? And the guy that interviews people just has different intellectuals on there. And the guy yesterday that showed up on there was talking about why he believes, hey, Joe, why he believes that there are more than one universe. Well, Jonathan, I think they need to do Tatooine Ghost. Tatooine Ghost is a story. Han and Leia, after they get married, go on a mission to Tatooine to find an Eldranian moss painting called Kellic Twilight with a secret encoded inside of it. And it's basically a thing that basically tells, it's basically some data that would help Thrawn and the Empire find out who is actually helping the Rebel Alliance, the New Republic. And Han and Bail Organa had it. Somehow it got transported off of Alderaan before the Death Star showed up. And it's up for auction. And Han and Leia go there. And there's a kerfuffle going on. And this guy shows up, steals the painting, and takes off with it. And I know it doesn't, because John Favreau hated the sequels. I hate to bring that up to the black pills. But it's really interesting to me watching, with that book, is Leia gets a tablet that belonged to Shmi Skywalker, who basically would go every night and go on her tablet and talk to Anakin. It was for Anakin. And, Leia sees a painting of Qui-Gon Jinn with Anakin on his shoulders after the pod race and doesn't know that the kid is her father. And in the end of it, she realizes, because Han, being the good dude that he is, basically encourages her to find out more about Shmi Skywalker, because Han Solo didn't know his parents. Okay, so Leia discovers the good person that Anakin was as a child. She discovers that he had friends, that he was popular, all right, that his mother loved him. Okay. And changes her mind about forgiving him. Because if you remember in Truce at Bakura, she says to Vader's ghost, I'd forgive everything you've ever done to me, but I will never forgive you what you did to Han. Okay. She realizes that Anakin Skywalker hadn't been born that way. Okay. And she forgives him enough to say to Han, okay, we'll have our own children. That's how Jaina and Jacen Solo became about. Okay, because Leia was afraid that the bloodline she carried would bring nothing but Sith Lords and evil to the galaxy. And, so she took a chance. Now, I have my ideas on the EU. I really don't think that Jacen Solo should have gone to the dark side. I thought that was just, come on, and, killing off Anakin, it's like, why? But that's another time. I gotta go. I've been online for a while now, and my phone is gonna die, so I gotta go. You guys have a good afternoon, a good evening, and to the Abrams dude, or yeah, killing Chewie, that was probably the worst. I always forget that, and yes. Anyway, this is a discussion for another time. Anyway, you guys have a good afternoon, good evening, and remember, the link to the fundraiser is in the description. Please give what you can. I really appreciate it. Kojak, who's asleep behind me, does too. See you guys around the galaxy.